Prince Andrew's former girlfriend Koo Stark has been hit with a £285,000 court bill on top of six-figure legal costs after a judge rejected a meritless claim her financier former lover had agreed to pay her £50,000 a year for life.
The actress, who famously dated the royal in the 80s, was branded a gold digger by ex-Warren Robbie Walker over her claims he promised in 1997 to give her the lump sum every year, plus household expenses, for life.
The unmarried pair had just had a daughter, and Ms. Stark, 64, claimed the 61-year-old made the promise in return for her giving up plans to write what he regarded as a distasteful newspaper column called Diary of a Single Mother.
However, he only paid about 2 years' worth of the £50,000 installments before the relationship ended, and 20 years later she took him to court in a fight over the cash.
Ms. Stark claimed Mr. Walker was in breach of his promise in a later agreement, in which he pledged to give her £200,000 to secure a home.
But Mr. Walker insisted he did not owe her anything, claiming that 2 decades-old agreements were not legally binding, and in his evidence branding her a gold digger.
Her bid was refused by a judge last year, but she took it to Court of Appeal Judge Lady Justice Asplin, who has now thrown out her case, which she said was totally without merit.
The appeal judge said there was no point even allowing Ms. Stark's case to be heard in court because she stood no chance of winning and overturning the earlier decision.
Her appeal bid was based on simple disagreements with the judge's findings and unsubstantiated new points which had no real prospect of success, said the judge.
The decision means Ms. Stark has been left having to pay her ex's lawyer's bills estimated at up to £285,000 on top of her own costs, which are likely to also run into 6 figures. The High Court heard last year that Ms. Stark and Mr. Warren met in 1994 and started a relationship, living together in a Mews house in Knightsbridge, West London.
Ms. Stark had been an actress and photographer, but more famously an ex of Prince Andrew, while Mr. Walker was a financier with a guarded private life. She told the court that, while pregnant with their child in 1996, she had been in negotiations with the Times to write a column called Diary of a Single Mother.
It did not come to fruition, but while pregnant a second time in 1997, the idea was raised again, she told the judge.
Unhappy with what he viewed as the distasteful and unethical idea, Mr. Walker made the £50,000 a year promise in a handwritten letter, she said.
The letter stated that he would guarantee her the equivalent of £50,000 a year out of kindness and love.
Ms. Stark said Mr. Walker had repeatedly told her that the promise was in return for her abandoning the Diary of a Single Mother column idea.
He strongly disliked any form of publicity and was very keen to prevent it from happening, she said.
She claimed he told her his promise was as good as a banknote and that he would treat her as a wife or ex-wife.
And she claimed the reference to the equivalent of £50,000 meant that the sums due to her should rise with inflation each year.